Whoa. Come back. So let's play Higurashi when they cry, Minagoroshi. You know, trouble recording with the screen capture thing is that it just feels awkward to use. And I can never be sure if it's actually... Well, whatever. And you know, I wonder if that was the reason the previous recording, when I uploaded them, YouTube kept rejecting it. Like, what was the message? It was like, the notification is like, processing abandoned or something like that. So I don't know if it was the format of the video or what. I had to change it to a different format for it to upload. First time I tried uploading it, which was ironic, because in part 8, or was it part... No, it was part 9, I was like, you know what, I'll upload, like, a bit more often if I feel like it, rather than, you know, having that kind of day off in between, you know? And I was like, that night, I was like, oh, I can't be arsed, but just giving it as an example, I uploaded like that, and kept getting that message. So eventually it was like, fuck it. I even tried editing, did nothing. Then, like, just waited till the usual upload time that I would go with, and it was like, nope, still not there. So then, browsed online, searching for an answer, and like forum posts where people in a like endless sea of people going, yeah, I got the same problem too. Yeah, anyone got a solution to this problem? You don't know what, yeah, this same thing happened to me. The same thing happened to me. And then in amongst all that, it was someone saying, more or less, well, this worked for me. I changed the format of the video and it worked. And I did that and it worked. So, there's that. I had to do it for part 10 as well, because when I inevitably uploaded that the other day, yesterday in fact as I'm recording, same issue arrived again, so I had to change the format just to get it to upload, and that was a kerfuffle to say the very least. Hopefully the same thing doesn't happen with this record session, because that would be a mighty fine pain in the arse. Anyways, where'd we leave off last? It was a very humid day. I say, where did we leave off last? Actually, it was last night that I uploaded, I think. Yeah. So why should I be like, what happened again? It's like, I freaking uploaded it, probably not even 12 hours ago at this point. But anyways, recap, Rika's luck just gets better and better, and then we got that ominous tip scene, and that kind of makes it seem like, but how will things go? Not even a slight breeze was blowing. It had been an unpleasant summer, one that wasn't only hot, but sweateringly so. There were various articles of clothing hung out to dry in the messy apartment windows, but the lack of wind evoked an impression far removed from coolness. In fact, it only felt more oppressive. You know what I find? It's like, it's like hot summer days. I look outside, past couple of days, just dreary and just cloudy, overcast, with some rain, and it's kind of standard British weather, really. It's like, summer is like, 1 week of the sun in the sky, and then it's gone. It's just like, it's a rare sight. Although, kind of exaggerated a bit, you know. Sometimes the sky is clear, but more often than not it's cloudy. Even if it's not rainy or anything, it's always cloudy. There were crooked houses and apartments lined a narrow, twisting road. In addition, there were planters and flower pots, whose contents were beginning to rot, as well as bicycles and cars on the sides of the road, making it even more cramped, more oppressive, and all the more sweltering. Nobody who was in this place at this time was visiting it voluntarily. But in spite of what everyone might expect, a single motorcycle came rolling in. A motorcycle stopped in front of a 2-story apartment, one that could hardly be called neat, even as flattery. A man, fairly old and wrinkled, stepped off. When a nearby housewife hanging out the laundry noticed him, she called out, "Well, hello there. It's quite hot again today, isn't it?" "Oh, yeah, you got that right. I feel like I'm gonna boil out here." And suddenly I got goosebumps all over my body. I felt like something bad was about to happen, for no reason. Well, we obviously know something is going to, kind of put a spanner in the works here for Rika's, lucky streak as of late, because we saw that tip. Everyone gets this feeling in a different way. Some people get a twitch in their eyelids or some kind of movement in their ears. In my case, I get goosebumps. Satoko was supposed to be cooking dinner tonight. We didn't have much inside the refrigerator, so I asked her to go grocery shopping. I was just watching TV and relaxing while I waited for her. She was usually back by the time my cartoon was over, after which she'd start cooking dinner. Now, well, that's something I'm curious to see. Let's have a look-see. Is it? Yeah, anime. Yeah. Doesn't have a kanji character. Anime. I mean, it's pretty much just animation, really, isn't it? But my cartoon was over. The news had started, and Satoko wasn't home yet. Satoko sometimes waited until they had a sale at the store. In that case, she'd usually come home late. That must be what was happening. It was too early for me to stop worrying about her. But, I can't explain this feeling. I can't explain it, but I feel extremely worried. Once I started feeling like that, I couldn't just sit in the room and wait for her. Hanyuu, where are you? No, I think I did check this, didn't I, before? Like, to see what character she has in her name. You know what? For the word of the day, where did I put the dictionary? There it is. I can't remember what I was gonna have for the word of the day. I think I had in mind just like keep it relevant to, the events in any given part, that I record. But then I can't remember if that was it or not. And I don't know how it'll be possible to find. Well, actually, I could just look through the ha section and see if that kanji character shows up. So, put the microphone down there. Also, you can hear the bird in the background. I mean, you always can, but the bird finally did it, man. Finally did it. Bird knocked off the last of the bells. Because he's got a mirror and he had 3 bells on there, but he's knocked off all 3 of them now. Some point to put them back on, of course, even though it is quite annoying when the bird rattles the shit out of it. And there's quite a lot here, but not seeing that character. I mean, I kind of doubt I'd come across the character. It's like, I can see the second character. The second character is quite a common character. Oh, I forget what it means. I think it means like person, but I could be wrong. Let's actually look for Han. Just Han on its own. Probably won't have the character, but worth a shot. Yeah, the character's not there. Yeah, of course not. You're not gonna find a freaking name in this dictionary. For words, not names. Unless I'm still gonna scroll through pages just to see if it pops up. You know what? Let me just... Because Hanyuu is basically a deity, right? So maybe if I can find, like, goddess or god in here, maybe it'll have that character in it. And maybe that would explain why that's her name. I don't know. Nope. The kanji character for God doesn't have that character. How about... Well, I assume they probably wouldn't go the extra mile and put deity in there as well. No, of course not. There was a word I was going... Actually, yeah. Oh wait, it's not person, actually, it's a different character. They look quite similar, though. So we'll just go with person for the word of the day. Hito, why not? Why not? One of these days, if I remember to, I will look in the dictionary and see if I can find that character. See what it actually means. I mean, I could easily just type Hanyuu's name into Google and it's probably translate the names. Same with Minagoroshi. It's like, I'm not sure what it means. I know Mina means everyone, so it's obviously everyone something. But I remember looking for Goroshi in a Japanese dictionary and couldn't find it. So, anyways, where were we? Oh, yes. I thought she might know where Satoko might be. But she's never around when I need her. Typical, isn't it? Hanyuu is not with me 24 hours a day. She sometimes falls asleep and sometimes she goes out for walks. Though in her case it's not a walk but more like a stalk. She follows people around when she finds someone interesting and enjoys observing them. How rude of her! Anyway, I had no choice. I'd have to find Satoko on my own. I had a good idea of which stores Satoko goes to. I should check those first. We're in Hinamizawa. If I ask people, they tell me where she went. Hello there, Rika-chama. It's a blessing to see you here. Nippa! Did Satoko come here today by any chance? I haven't seen Satoko-chan here. I've been out here all day, so I would have seen her if she was here. I didn't even have time to say thanks. I ran to the next door. People were greeting me and waving at me. I'd usually smile and greet them back, but I had no time for that at the moment. Satoko! Actually, what's the characters in your name? Now for that. This is very reminiscent of the question arcs, I remember doing this a few times. But it's just like, switch to Japanese so we can see what the characters are. You got 3 characters in your name. Each syllable, Satoko, is a different character. Man, that must be a pain in the ass writing your name down with a name like that. I haven't got a clue. I gotta go through the dictionary looking for those characters. Well, I was saying that, I kind of vaguely recognize this character and maybe this character as well. I think this character is actually... There's a similar looking character to it that I think means water or river. It might even be that one, I don't know. It has a similar kind of line going down. And I can see how it kind of makes sense in that way, with some country characters being like, oh, they are, you know, made to look like what the meaning of the word is. Like it kind of look like a river running through, doesn't it? That is assuming, if I'm remembering correctly, what the character for that actually looked like. I need Satoko in my life. I was able to survive for so long because of her support. Without her, this world would be so empty and boring. Satoko is nonchalant and optimistic, unlike me. I've learned so many things from her over the past 100 years. I still need to learn more from her. Satoko, Satoko! People stared at me as I ran by them, screaming out her name in a most unusual voice. I didn't care what they thought, though. Satoko, Satoko, Satoko! Oh, why am I not voicing this a bit more seriously? This is a serious scene here. Why are they looking at me like that? I'm looking for Satoko. Somebody tell me where she is. God damn it. It's hard working, like, voicing from Rika's perspective out, it sounded a bit goofy. I don't know. Take the scene a bit more seriously. This is serious matters. The plot is, like, gonna get more serious. My heart was convulsing inside my body like a fish out of the water. What little stamina I have, I hate my body for being so young. Who's talking now? Oh no, there's a still in the evening, she might be there. That's probably her, well, not her, but someone she's like asking, and that's what they just suggest to her, I guess. Went to a few different places, but I still couldn't find her anywhere. The people I talked to gave me advice on where to go, but I couldn't find her in any of the places they suggested. I continued to run looking for her. I continued to run even when I bumped into people. I don't know, I had so many customers, I can't remember. There are only a few places in Mizawa where we can go grocery shopping. It shouldn't be that difficult to find her, so why couldn't I? We know the answer to this, if you've been paying attention. Well, I mean, maybe if this is the first arc you've ever seen of Higurashi, maybe then you'd be like quite as blind as Rika is in this situation. But if you've seen the other arcs as well, and the tip from the previous part, yeah, it's kind of put 2 and 2 together there. I tripped on something in the streets and fell flat on the ground. Ouch. I injured my hand on a small rock embedded in the ground. I didn't feel much pain, even though I said ouch. I just felt hot, as if I had touched a frying pan. Suddenly, someone handed me a pretty handkerchief. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Rena. Are you okay? Did you get hurt? Rena, did you see Satoko anywhere? Rena was carrying a grocery bag. I've heard that Satoko bumps into Rena often when she goes grocery shopping. They tend to choose the same stores. Satoko-chan? No, I didn't see her today. Was she out grocery shopping? Yes, you didn't see her.
No, I didn't. But there's no way she would have missed the big sale at the market today. I was there, but I didn't see her.
My brain wasn't getting enough oxygen. It took me a while to understand what Rena was talking about. I understood that Rena didn't see Satoko, but that wasn't the point. They had a huge sale in the market today. There's no way that Satoko would miss that sale. But she just still didn't see her there. The way I voiced that second line, it should be more like, there's no way that Satoko would miss that sale. Question mark? What's that supposed to mean?
What happened? Did she leave her wallet at home or something?
Well, I couldn't find the right words to explain. Should I tell her I feared that something bad happened to Satoko, and that's why I'm looking for her? No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't think too deeply about why she hadn't returned home.
What's wrong? Can I help? Help out? Talk to me.
I knew she was just trying to help me. Remember Rena's words of wisdom, Rika. You know, when in need, seek help from your friends and stuff, Not just keep it all to yourself there and, put all the burden on yourself. Even though she's just looking for Satoko, but you get the idea, it helps to, have a friend to help you look, I guess. Even thought I needed someone to help me just a few moments ago, before. But now that she was here, I had no idea what I was supposed to say. No, that's not it. Truth is, I know. Somehow I know. I wouldn't have to know if I was someone else. But I have to know this. Rika really has to know what's going on. I know it. I remember it. I knew this was coming. Yeah. I've experienced a world before where Satoko suddenly disappeared. The possibility for that happening is as low as Higurashi showing up in Hanyuu. It only happened randomly in my other lives. You say this, Satoko, no, Rika, but Higurashi showed up as well. And you say that is equally as low, so wouldn't that kind of make you think, well, it makes you wonder though, doesn't it? It's only giving you little bits of information of all these other past events. We've seen Hanyuu, yeah, that was what it's called, Minagoroshi, I always forget the third answer arc, because there's Sumiyoraboshi and Tatarigoroshi. I get the two mixed up, but they're basically, well, no, they're not the answer arc and question arc to each other. The answer arc for one of them, well, the answer arc is one of them, and it's the answer arc to Hanyuu. Well, the other one, well, that's the question arc to this answer arc, and all that, essentially. It's all starting to make sense in that regard, isn't it? If that is the question arc to this answer arc. But, yeah, basically in all those we've, seen all these events play out. But there's events we've never seen, she, says worlds where Keiichi doesn't show up. And now there's ones where Satoko disappears entirely. That's interesting. And that one time where she recounted, hiding out in the forest, to try to survive. That would have been an interesting scenario to see. It's not the first time. It happened before, too. I should see it for myself. I need to see if I had gotten stuck inside a devastating world again.
Will you talk to me?
I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Hey, Rika-chan.
I started running. I couldn't pretend like I didn't know where she was. Please don't tell me that I was blessed only up to this point, but I'm about to fall back into my unfortunate fate from here on. I thought that this world was different. I thought I could move on to a happy future. I thought I would be able to defeat my deadly fate in this life. But this was just horrible. It was horrible that this was happening to this world. was standing in front of the place that I hate the most in Idmizawa. Yes, it's Satoko's real home, the Hojo residence. I'd been living with her since last fall, so this house was empty. In the beginning, she used to come back here to pick up her clothing and all necessities. But once she moved most of her stuff to my house, Satoko stayed away from this place. This was a sad place for Satoko, because all she could remember of it was the horrible time she spent with her uncle and aunt, and the memory of her missing brother Satoshi. That's why she never wanted to come back here. But that wasn't the reason I hate the house. It's because I know what happens whenever this house becomes an issue in my life. Oh God, please, please bless me with just one more fortune. I closed my eyes and prayed, then I slowly opened them. The window was open on the second floor. I saw a faded curtain swinging inside. As soon as I saw that, my knees realized what was going on, even before my mind processed it. In the next moment, I lost strength in my legs and collapsed on the ground. I saw an unfamiliar motorcycle parked by the house. I also saw laundry and a futon hanging outside. I was certain that someone was living here. There was proof that someone was living inside this house. It's never good when there's someone living inside this house. This was very, very bad. I knew exactly why. I knew why, but I felt like I wanted to act like I didn't know.
Rika? Satoko!
Satoko went outside to take the futon in and noticed me.
Rika.
Satoko looked down and forced herself to smile. I felt so sad. It wasn't just her expression. I could tell that her left cheek was red and swollen.
Satoko, don't stay here. Let's go home.
I took her hand, but she still looked down without squeezing back.
Rika, I think I'm going to go back to this house.
Why's that?
My uncle came back, and he told me we should live together in this house. That's not what you want. You don't want to live with your mean uncle. But I have no choice. If I go back to your house, he'll come and get me. I don't want to cause any trouble for you.
She gave up with a sad smile. She looks exactly how she looked 1 year ago, in 1982. Her uncle only slapped her face, and she's back to being the Satoko from 1982. The cheerful Satoko that I knew until yesterday could no longer be found. I took care of Satoko and tried to heal her wounded heart for over a year. 100 years, when you really think about it, considering all the, repeats. We finally got her smile back, but her uncle took it all away with just one slap to her face. A broken soul can recover over time, but her damaged heart can never be fixed completely. I just took the broken pieces and put them back together. The cracks in her heart will always be there. That's why she wouldn't come with me, no matter how hard I tried to pull her hand. She couldn't get over the fear. She knew just how scary her uncle could be.
Satoko, what the hell are you doing? You better not go it.
Wait, no, that's her uncle, isn't it? Satoko, what the hell are you doing? You better not go anywhere. I heard a disgusting voice inside the house. Satoko stared at the ground. Her shoulders were shaking. Huh? Who the hell is this? He came out and stood right behind her.
It's nothing. I just bumped into my friend.
Yeah, I don't care. Go inside and clean the bathtub. I want to take a bath, you idiots. Satoko scampered back inside the house like a terrified small animal. I feel devastated as I watch her go. What are you asking her how to play? I'm sorry, but she's busy taking care of chores. I'm her uncle. I'll be out for a while on a business trip. I'm finally back in the village, What a weird voice I've given him. Liar. He only showed back up because his lover went missing. In another world, I once let my hatred out on him. But then he inflicted that anger in equal turn onto Satoko. So I couldn't allow the dark flame burning within my chest to reflect in my eyes. Again, it's another, bit of info from a past world that we hear about, but we don't really see it. It's just like... So it just makes it like... She obviously snapped at this asshole in one world, and it ended really badly. So she never did it again, presumably. Since I couldn't make myself smile and I couldn't insult him, all I could do was give him a short bow and run away from the scene. You're intimidated by my scary face, huh? I heard his hideous laughter from behind me. I cried as I ran away. I couldn't stop crying. I thought this was a perfect world up until today. Why was God doing this to me? It was too cruel. But I couldn't give up yet. I couldn't do anything, but I still had hope for this world. I didn't think the luck I had until yesterday was just a random thing. I went back to my house in a hurry. I needed to make a phone call. I didn't know the number because it was my first time calling the place. I looked inside the phone book and found it easily. I made a call to that number. What number is that? Whose phone is this? I don't know who is talking. I'm just gonna voice it in a default voice. Hello, didn't expect to get a call from you, Friday-san. What can I do for you? Oh, it's Oishi. I already knew that Oishi could never save Satoko based on what I've seen in my previous lives. For him, Satoko is only a good way to get at the Sonozaki family. Her uncle is probably his prey in that regard, too. Even if I talked to him about her situation, he would do nothing to save her. The only thing he'd tell me would be to call the child and the installation, etc. I want to talk with Akasaka. Is he there? Akasaka-san. He went to the hot springs in Wakura with his wife. Wakura? That's not anywhere near here. I thought he was staying here until Watanagashi. And he's going to stay in a hotel owned by a relative of his. Wish I could go too. What? Want to know where Makura is? Yeah. It's in the Ishigama Prefecture. On the Noto Peninsula. No way. He told me that he was staying here until Watanagashi. I thought he meant he was staying in Ibizawa. But did he actually mean this area of the country in general? That's gotta be an ultimate gut punch to Rika. First, like, Satoko, you know, and his shitty ass uncle returning, and now him not even staying in Hinamizawa. It's like her luck just crumbling one bit at a time. Can you get a hold of him somehow? That was a meaningless question. There's no way I could get him to come here while he's enjoying his trip with his wife. Even if I can talk to him on the phone, he'll probably only tell me to call the child consultation center or something. I don't know where he's staying. I heard it's a very famous luxury hotel, so I can make a pretty good guess. But I'm sure they won't give me the room number since they're strict about customer privacy these days. Okay then, did Nagasaki tell you that he's coming to the Watanagashi Festival? Yes, he did. He's coming back here after the hot springs. They stayed here for only one night and then left for the Noto Peninsula. I'm sure they'll be back before the day of the festival. He said he'd be back with a souvenir for you. How terrible. I thought it was too good to be true. I know it was kind of strange for him to stay in a boring place like this. My luck seems to be turning. This might not be a surprise, though. Just like I can roll a 6 3 times in a row, I can roll a 1 3 times in a row, too. Well, if that's the case, you've rolled a 1 twice so far, right? Happy things and unhappy things can happen with equal probability. What? Hello, if you want to leave the message, I'll take it for you. Well, wait, no, maybe this is just Oishi, because like she's gotten silent. I thought she was calling someone else, and that would be an odd transition if that was the case, though. Oh, if you want to leave a message, I'll take it for you. I looked at the calendar on the wall. I didn't know when he was coming back, but I was certain he wouldn't be for at least one more week. I went back to the past to try and remember what happened. That guy will break Satoko apart in 1 week. I couldn't wait that long. I had to give up on seeking help from Akasaka. Well, that's okay. I still had one more option. One more person I could rely on.
No, that's alright. Thank you for your help. Nippon!
I hung up the phone after thanking him. I couldn't make a phone call to the next person. I'd have to talk to him in person. We can tell who that's... Oh, wait, no. I was gonna think... No, it's gonna be Keiichi, but then I was like, oh yeah, Irie, of course. There's anyone who, like... Well, they all care about Satoko, but he really does care about Satoko, doesn't he? I put my shoes on and head to the Irie clinic. I mean, is she ever... I mean, I guess it's because she doesn't really like him, so she probably... Maybe he's never really seeked his help much in previous lives.